Hey, Facey. Let me see if I can share. How is everyone? I am. Just give me a minute. How good is Facebook now? We can just share like this. Okay. Okay, awesome. Okay, done. Right, awesome. Hey Lucy, how are you? Thanks for jumping on. Say hey when you jump on. Okay, so what does life look like when you're in the driver's seat? What I want to say about this is this is really about claiming your own authority, and this is something that I have like massively struggled with, and I think that it's like the absolute key to finding, like, elevating your wealth, really finding what your purpose is, how to live in your joy, how to be a better mother, how to be better at business, how to like really express yourself, how to have deeper relationships. All of this is tied in. So I'm going to just talk a little bit about my experience, and then I'm going to give my the things that have really supported me and allow me to find my truth and my inner authority and get back into the driver's seat of my life. So I'm going to give those tips at the end so you can apply them into your life too. What does it look like? I think it's kind of some weird words to be the own authority in your life. And this is really like sovereign self-expression, like not being influenced by what your partner says, not being influenced by making a decision because that's the decision that's going to make you the most money, not being influenced by a decision because other people are doing it, but really like deciding this is what I want for my life. And this can take a little bit of digging, because I think that as in our conditioning, we can be like so many voices, and we're like, well, which one is really our real voice? Like, what do I actually really want? And I think the key to finding what you really want is like, you'll feel it in your body, like your whole being will actually expand when you think of something that is really for you, that is really your truth, that is really the thing that is going to support you into like growing in all the ways that you want to grow. And so for example, almost every relationship that I've been in, I have pretty much, as soon as I've got into that relationship, turned into like a codependent weirdo. And I'm not, like, I've been a completely independent woman. And then this template kind of like pops in. This is something that I've worked with, and I don't have it anymore, but this template kind of pops in where I almost like completely give my power away to the other person in the relationship. I assume that they know more than me. I assume that I just like blindly trust in what they're doing. And I have allowed their influence to completely override how I feel and my better judgment for what's really good for me. And when we do this, we come to know ourselves as it dilutes your power when this is examples of not being in the driver's seat. This is examples of not being your own inner authority. So when you are your own inner authority, it's not like you push people over, or you don't listen to others, or you don't consider others, but you truly know and understand how to navigate your life in the best way for you, because you're listening, you're connected to your soul, you're connected to the depth of who you really truly are, and you know what's best for you, and you trust that you know what's best for you. You trust that you're going to navigate your way through whatever halo. You trust that you're going to navigate your way through whatever obstacles are going to come in your direction, because you've cultivated a relationship with yourself, and you've cultivated a relationship with life that where there's trust, where you feel safe, to take risks, where you feel safe to express yourself, where you feel safe to give your truth, where you feel safe to like share, where you feel safe to receive and to give. So and this is like all the juice of life, like this is all the beautiful soul stuff. And my first tip that I wanted to share in how to get back into the driver's seat is to really understand the energy of decision, like what it means to make a decision, and how to and what the power of decision actually is. When we make a decision, like a real decision, you cannot be swayed from that decision. Like, it doesn't matter what anyone else says. It doesn't matter what anyone else does. It doesn't matter what challenges you face. It's you just decide, and you decide based on, and you make that decision based on, this is going to bring me the most joy. I want to do this because I really, let's say something simple, like I want to travel somewhere, right? I want to travel to Bali in November because it's going to make me feel really good. I've got lots of friends there. I love being in the sun. I feel really cold, blah, blah, blah. All these reasons, right? So that's a decision. If you make that decision, then it doesn't matter whether you've got the money in the bank. It doesn't matter whether someone can look after your children. Nothing matters. Like, you just take the steps towards making that be your outcome, to making that act for you to actually achieve that, because you decided that that's what's going to bring you the most joy. So, and you're following your joy. And this is how manifesting actually works. This is how being your own authority works. This is how being in the driver's seat works. And when you really step into the power of that decision, that's when you'll face the places where you're not in the driver's seat. That's where you get to see the places where you're not actually in control, because stuff will come up. And if you start to wobble from your decision and you get knocked off your perch, like wobble, gone, like, oh, maybe I can't do that. Not true. Then you get to see and you get to work with the places that show you where you're not in the driver's seat. They show you where you're not claiming your own inner authority. And that's the power of making a decision. Like, the decision is already done. Like, metaphysically, once you've decided and you activate that full power of your decision coming from you and your joy and your power as a co-creative human being here having an experience on earth, when you activate that and you go for it, that is when you get to see, number one, exactly where you're not in the driver's seat, and number two, how you get to like overcome that and navigate your way to that decision. Because if you've decided, it's happening. All you have to do is put on your gumboots and trek through the mud, or it doesn't have to be in the mud. Sometimes it's a really joyous experience to get to what you've wanted to create. So that's number one. Number one is decision. And number two, which really ties in with what I was talking about just then, about so once you make a decision, you will see what comes up for you. Like, you'll see where you're not in your authority. And not in your authority feels like, so you know when you've really decided something, you're like, this is happening, it's on, there is no question, I'm doing it, you know, all those things. And then something will happen and it'll throw you off, and your energy will drop. You'll start doubting yourself. You may get confused. You might kind of start doing circles. So this is number two, is to have a process or work with people who know how to move emotions and clear trauma. Because absolutely 100%ly, I can tell you that if you're not manifesting, if you have like this something in your dreaming space and it's not showing up in your reality and you're working towards it, if you have clarity about what that is, because clarity is a major one for closing the gap. But if you have clarity about what you want and you're doing all the things, you've got the gratitude, you're doing, you've got your vision, you feel like you're doing everything, you just keep like bumping up against this wall, I guarantee you that what is in that gap is, obviously this is your subconscious, and to close that gap takes knowing a process to clear your trauma, to clear your ancestry lines, to clear the trapped emotion that is underneath, or like the programs that are running that are underneath, that are really subconscious. And sometimes these are things that are of the world. For example, like this could be controversial, but external control. Like programs of like slavery, codependence. I just did a clearing today on one that was this like having to work hard and having to, what was the main voice of it? It was, it even had a personality. And once you start really digging into this space, they're so easy to release. But until, like, it's almost like having these blind spots. So it's like being available to see those blind spots, having a process and knowing how to clear that emotion. So the more you can clear that emotion, the smaller the gap's going to get, and the quicker and the easier you're going to manifest, and the quicker and the easier you are going to be able to feel the safety, give yourself the safety to trust yourself, to be able to step and take those steps towards what you actually want, instead of like keep on running against walls and maybe jumping into the driver's seat and then jumping back out of the driver's seat. So yeah, we are designed to stay in the driver's seat. And the reason why we get knocked out is, like I'm talking about, is this gap. And so if you don't have a process, or if you don't work with, or if you don't know someone who can like share a process with you of how to actually uncover those emotions, then look for someone who can do it. It's often like people who do shamanic work, energy work, coaching, manifesting work. Speak with the person. Like, if you resonate with what they're saying, like ask them to share what they do. Like, read books. Find a process. For me, the process has to be really deep. It's quite shamanic. And I go in, there's a couple of ones that I do. I often use sound. Hey, Ali. I often use sound to really clear that deep trauma and that deep emotion, so I can really like move it and release it and transform it into where I want to go. So the other thing that is missing from a lot of processes is it's kind of like, especially shadow work, it's not just looking at the shadow. It's not just identifying what's there, but it's also toning. Yeah, totally, Ali. It's not just identifying what's there. It's also identifying where you want to go. So once you've done that shadow work and you've found what's there, like this morning, hold on a sec. I want to show you something. This is really cool. So this is one of my processes, and I use like art and color and like lots of writing. So this is it, and sound to like I feel that it's so important for you to really connect with the emotion that's underneath, that's holding you back. So what I found this morning was this voice, this like track that was running was, the only way for me to succeed is to sacrifice myself. Like, and this is the picture that I gave. Like, it was just this really deep, heavy energy, and it just takes your awareness. Awareness is so healing. It's so healing, and knowing how to really shift and transform that energy, that is how you're going to get back into the driver's seat. That is how you're going to find your authority. And often when we release these emotions and we clear, like, our ancestry, our motherline, our fatherline, that is when our solutions come, and that is when our soul really speaks. Like straight after we've done those clearings, my soul is so alive, and I can write, I can create, I can draw, I can sing, I can like work in my business. I always take action after I've done a clearing. I write down 3 things that I can do to take action, because manifesting is also about action, like aligned action. Hey, Aaron. So, yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah. So once you've done that clearing, write down 3 things that you can do that is really aligned to where you want to go, and take action on those literally today. Like, don't wait, don't put it off, don't procrastinate. If it makes you feel like a feeling of dread, then do it even quicker, because that feeling of dread is laden with energy that is going to take you back out again. So number 2 is to have a process or work with people who know how to move emotions and clear trauma. Like, find someone that can do it. Find a process, find your process. Speak to people, like, just figure it out. Like, this, it's so key. And once you have that process, you can literally do your own work all day, every day if you want to. And that'll bring you closer to your goal, like literally quantum. Number 3 is to get clear about where your joy is and work from there. So, like, literally only make decisions based on your joy. Don't make decisions based on what others are going to think. Don't make decisions based on how much money you're going to make. Don't make decisions based on, obviously, like, these things can be factors, but really tune in and be like, is this my joy? Yes, follow. No, don't follow. So yeah, that's my 3 tips. Just to go over them again. 1 is really harness the power of your decision. Know what it means to decide and activate that. Number 2, have a process or work with people who know how to shift emotions and clear trauma, so that you can manifest quickly and get back into the driver's seat. Because often we just get taken off and taken out, and it's like we blame ourselves and we feel like it's our fault, but it's not our fault. It's our responsibility to get back into the driver's seat. But it's not like we don't have to like whip ourselves and like become this like, I'm a bad person because I didn't reach my goal. No. And number 3 is get clear on your joy and move from that joy. So if any of this resonates with you, hey Niraj, if any of this resonates for you, then I am looking to work with people who this resonates with. This is the basis of my online business. I currently am looking for people who would love to be part of a mentorship panel, really sharing their gifts, or be in the mentorship so that you can really learn how to use business as a vehicle to transform and elevate your wealth, your relationships, your manifesting abilities, how to share your message. If you have a message that you feel like is really important and you want to share it. I'm currently in a space where I am earning like more than most people earn in a month off one sale. So it's definitely a lucrative way to do personal development and share your message. The work that I do is literally this. Like, I share my message online, and I share the stuff that has really helped and supported me with others. And I also have a natural, like, my brand is very much manifesting, motherhood, living a life by design, working with alchemy, like alchemical, like turning the density stuff in your life into gold. And yeah, I'm looking for people who also are interested in creating a life by design And if you're anything like me, you know that if you want to make this kind of money, it's not something that you can just like jump into. It takes commitment of, I'm not saying it takes a whole lot of time, but it takes your energy to be in. Like if you're looking for something to give your energy to, if you want to crack into the online space, if you want to work from home or work from wherever you like, if you want to meet more people, if you have a message that you want to share, if you're like a nutritionist, a naturopath, if you have a practice, a clinic, if you feel in any way that, if you have a desire to make a lot of money, if you have a desire to have influence, and this is not, and don't be ashamed of these desires. Like these desires are given to you to follow and to figure out like how you actually get to navigate your life. So yeah, if you have a desire to impact people, to support people, to help people, to share your message, to travel, to create a large income, to not be in the 9-to-5 work space. If any of those things resonate for you, then I would love to chat. I work online, and I am currently looking for people to also share that journey with. And there's a whole process that you get to go through. It includes coaching. It's a very integrated process. It's working with hey Ali, I'm just about to wind up. Lost my train of thought. It's working with like elite in an elite digital marketing space, learning how to craft your message, craft your essence, craft your brand, share messages like this. Like this is, for me, this I consider work. I find it really fun, and I'm not going to say it's like always easy. You will always find always find a challenge in entrepreneurship, exactly the places where you need to grow and expand, whether that's like you need to create more structure around money, whether you have like, whatever it is in your life that is currently holding you back from achieving, currently holding you back from achieving the things that like you really want to achieve in your life, then entrepreneurship will literally show those up to you like instantly. It will also elevate your gifts instantly. So it's like I find it a really fun and worthy game of creating with mostly women, like really beautiful, empowered women who want to make an impact, who want to share their message, who some of them are really beautiful artists, beautiful creative women, photographers, mothers. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, then please send me a personal message and I will send you some details. Sending you lots of love. Have a beautiful day.